There's lots of different ways to do things in Embird. I'm going to show you just one way. It's helpful to have an idea of what you're going to do, and a sketch isn't essential, but it can be helpful. I have digitized many of these similar designs now, and what I've done here is I know that my starting node has to match my ending mode, so I have made sure that that's happening. The little green squares are to show where I know I'm going to need nodes, because I'm going to want to come back to the base of the cherry, so I'm going to want a node there. I know I'll want a node where I come back to the joint of the stem, and another node at the bottom of this cherry. Although this node here isn't essential, what I know from doing other similar types of curves is that I will have trouble matching this if I don't put a node there. You don't have to put all of these in right away because you can insert a node, but it is helpful to have some kind of a sketch first and to think about what your nodes are going to be. Here we are in Embird Studio. We're going to go to Design, Border, and this time we're going to go to a new border. Here's the border area again, which you've seen before, and I'm just going to enlarge it a little bit. Because you can't have an image behind your border, you do have to work without that, although there is a workaround that I'll talk about later. But for now, I'm just going to show you one way to do this. So starting on the left, we have a connection object, and I'm going to place that object right on the boundary box right there. I know from my little plan that I showed you before that I'm going to want a node at the base of the cherry, so right about there. And then I'm going to want to stitch up to the top of the cherry, somewhere up there. Okay, I accept that, and that looks good. I'm just going to look at the editing points to just remember where I did put that node for the base of the cherry. Okay. Next element is going to be a column object, so I choose that. I'm going to pull apart the two nodes, and I'm going to go up here and choose the A method of using a column. I really like the A method. Most people like the B, but I like the A. So there's my first side. I'm going to work on this side first, so I can place a node right down there because I know I want to come back to that area. Then I can go up and make it go to the other side and put a node there. And I want a nice big fat red cherry. Okay, and I'm going to accept that and Control G to just see how it's stitching out. It looks pretty good. Okay, escape. I'm done. Now, one little trick to know is that when I want to choose my next object, which is going to be connection, I can just click that and it picks up the last node. The other way you can get that is to hit the 3 key. Anyway, there's my end of my column object, and now I'm going to put a connection. I want to go back to the node that I had right here, and then I want to go to a node right here, which I should have put a node there, so I'm going to have to wing it. Okay, that looks pretty good, and I can continue and go right down approximately to where I know I'm going to want a node for the intersection of the stem somewhere around here, and then I'm going to want to go to the base of the cherry, and then I'm going to want to go to the end of the cherry. So I want to make that look a little bit nicer. Something like that. Okay, something like that. I can fix it later. Okay, that's the end there, and I'm just going to look at my nodes again, and that's about where I want my cherry to come back to. Okay, now I'm ready to choose a column object again, and okay, so column object. There's my endpoint of the last one. I just pulled that apart. I believe it stays on the method that you chose, so I chose A, and it should still be on A for the column object. Okay, so I'm going to go there, and then I go up and choose the other side node, and then I can come down to here. Okay, this is my second cherry. Okay, and I'm going to accept that and Control G to have a look at the stitches, and it looks pretty good. Okay, escape, and I'm going to choose another connection object, and I'm going to make it match up to the stem, come back here to this node. Sometimes you have to do it further apart and then snap it to that node. And I am going to go up and turn on the snap to node and snap to object because that'll help keep my stems together. Okay, and then I'm going to go somewhere over here. I may need another node. Okay, that's not quite like my picture, I think, oops, don't want to do that. Uh-oh, lost my whole line.